Good evening, folks. So my father-in-law brought a chainsaw over today. So the first thing I did was pull the spark plug. It was fouled, but it did have spark. So then I began to wonder about the fuel after I yanked on it for a little while. I emptied the fuel tank and then emptied out the contents of the fuel tank, and here's what I found. That filter is supposed to be on a hose that goes from the carburetor into the tank. That hose is just disintegrated. Little bitty pieces. There's a spring left that used to hold the hose onto that filter, and here's where the lines come into the gas tank. I touched them and they just disintegrate. So there you go. That's got to be cleaned up. And here's the hoses that come out of the carburetor down into the gas tank. We'll have to replace those. So I pulled the air filter off, pulled the carburetor off, and began to see what kind of a job this was going to be. It's easier coming apart than it is to go together, I have to say. So the black hose there went down into the gas tank, and as you can see, it's sort of pinched. And they have a smaller hole than the OD of the gas line for a reason, I'm sure, is to seal off. But it looks like it's a little too much. This hose is normal, but these other two hoses are very brittle. So we'll have to replace some. Yeah, that one's broken off. That's what's left of the filter hose, the black line. So here's the top of the gas tank where these lines go into. These hoses are 3/16 on the OD. I just happened to have some hose in my inventory, so I went about cutting the right length and replacing these hoses. Not as easy as it looks. These holes are small. The hoses are sort of a rubber, and they're hard to get started. But I finally got them in there and through the tank, and then I put the filter on and got that little spring to retain the hose on the filter. I worked it on there. Just have to finesse it on. The devil is in the details. So there we go. Got that pretty well squared away, and put the carburetor back on. It's a bit of a trick, but I finally got it squished in there and got the bolts back in. Got them tightened up. Put gas back in it. Let's see if this thing will start. So they tell you to push the primer button 7 times. Pull the choke out, turn it on, and then they tell you to pull 5 times with the choke on. So I followed the instructions to a T, and voila. Fire in the hole. Well, this chainsaw lives another day, so tomorrow we'll go see if it works in real life. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, or dissent. You've been watching the Junkyard Tailgate channel. Good day.